Hello, hello, hello. Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Good Boxing Podcast with your host, Josh Size. I have a very hot episode for you today because I am coming in hot. And I'm not going to lie to you, I'm very, very annoyed right now. Specifically, I want to talk about the rumors about Gervonta Tank Davis. Gervonta Tank Davis evidently is rumored to be fighting a Mr. Barrios at 140 pounds. Now, on paper, Gervonta Davis is moving up to another weight class to fight for a title, etc., etc. But I am getting exhausted by the fact that Gervonta Davis keeps getting a pass for not fighting anybody. I cannot understand how Gervonta Davis is constantly mentioned amongst the top 135 pounders in the world. And guess what? Gervonta Davis, is he a solid fighter? Yes. Does he have power? Yes. Does he have some skills? Yes. Is he backed by Floyd Money Mayweather, who was one of the best fighters possibly of all time? Self-anointed TBE? Yes. Has he fought on pay-per-view? Yes, he has. But the one thing he hasn't done, and I'm immediately going to eliminate him from the 135-pound discussion because he's not fighting at 135 pounds. I don't get it. I don't understand why Floyd doesn't want him to fight in the 135-pound division. And honestly, this move to move up to 140 pounds to fight Barrios makes it seem like he doesn't want to be in the mix. And I'm just going to be honest with you. It seems like he doesn't want to have the smoke with the other four kings. You have Lomachenko, who's possibly going to fight Devin Haney. Fine. You have Devin Haney, who can fight Gervonta Davis. You've heard about the sparring sessions, and maybe that's why he doesn't want to mess with Devin Haney, because apparently Devin Haney made him quit in the doghouse rules, and since then, Gervonta really wants no parts of Devin Haney, right? They talk trash back and forth, but this has been verified by many sources, one of which, if you go watch Fighter and the Kid, Malik Basil talks about the fight that happened in the gym, and this was actually just randomly when he spoke about it. He mentioned that he saw it in person, that Devin Haney made him quit. Floyd Mayweather Sr. mentioned it as well, that Devin Haney made him quit. So maybe that's why he doesn't want to fight Devin Haney. Also, Floyd apparently has been talking about training with Devin Haney, so maybe that's why he doesn't want to make Gervonta Davis a part of that, because Gervonta is his most high-profile fighter. So maybe he's moving him up to 140 just to stay away from the 135-pound division. Truthfully, he doesn't want to fight Teofimo Lopez because Teofimo's too big, too fast, and right now his confidence is through the roof. And power, in my opinion, isn't just going to beat Teofimo. You have to bring it. You have to kind of develop yourself. And if you couldn't knock out Yoriokas Gamboa, you're not going to knock out the man with the high IQ. And in my opinion, I think it's a good fight. It is competitive in my opinion, but I just don't see Gervonta Davis being that much of a nightmare matchup for Teofimo Lopez at this point, especially not now, but he's fighting Gambosos. And then, you know what? I'm going to call out Ryan Garcia too, because Ryan Garcia and Tank Davis, both of you guys decided to run your mouths, go to social media, go on Mike Tyson's podcast, talking shit that you're going to fight each other. And then what happens? Ryan Garcia talks about fighting Pacquiao. That fight never happens. Now Mikey Garcia is the front runner, right? Then, now that Ryan Garcia is not going to fight Manny Pacquiao, right? Because Mikey Garcia won the sweepstakes. Who's Ryan Garcia talking about fighting? Javier Fortuna? Right? Jorge Linares? Like, those are the front runners for the fight. And what happened to Gervonta Davis? Gervonta Davis draws Barrios. Now, you want to be mentioned as one of the five kings at 135 pounds. Floyd Mayweather says he's going to bring you around. He just needs to stop. He'd bring you along, not around. He needs to just be honest and say that he doesn't want Tank to be at 135. Last fight, he fought Leo Santa Cruz at 130 pounds, right? This next fight is going to be at 140 pounds for Barrios to win another title, to bring that and add that to the resume. When was the last time Gervonta Davis fought at 135? Oh, I remember when he fought Yoriokas Gamboa and went 12 rounds with him and then finally stopped him. Whippy. So you know what? In my opinion, I do not see Gervonta Davis right now anything higher than ranked number 5 at 135 pounds, because at this point, this solidifies it for me. They're moving Gervonta Davis in a way that they're trying to protect him. And I know Gervonta Davis probably doesn't want to hear that. And I know Gervonta Davis is a very, very good fighter. I think he's very, very good. But I think at this point in his career, he needs to stand up to his promoter and make big fights. He wants big money. They're moving him around slowly. Leonard Ellerby wants to talk about, we're making smart decisions. Tank is the A side. He's a pay-per-view fighter. Look, a lot of people are getting privy to your pay-per-view model. You want to fight people that are a landslide. You want to fight people that they know you're going to beat, right? And then you want to say, Tank Davis is a pay-per-view star. Yeah, Tank Davis fought one time on pay-per-view as a headliner against Leo fucking Santa Cruz, who has his own following. If you don't know, Leo Santa Cruz was actually a really, really good champion, right? Leo Santa Cruz only lost to who? Besides Gervonta Tank Davis, he lost to Carl Frampton in a fight that he decided to be exciting, press forward, and bring the action. Against Gervonta Davis, he's going to bring the action. Leo Santa Cruz is a kind of fighter that's going to fight the way he's going to fight, and he wanted to bring the noise and bring the action and fought his ass off that night. Gervonta Davis was the better of the two, and you can't really fault him for that. He won. Right? It was a crushing knockout. It was beautiful. But let's not fucking forget, this guy is 140. This guy is a 122 pounder moving up to 130. So he didn't move up one division. He moved up 2 divisions. Right? And then you're fighting one of the hardest punchers at 130. And even at 135, it was a nightmare matchup. So I'm not going to sit here and give credit to Leo Santa Cruz. And I constantly have this discussion with one of my friends over at the Designated Report who really, really is high on Gervonta Davis. And I do like Gervonta Davis, right? I like their content. Go check it out at Designated Report. They're boxing guys, Leo and Gene. They really do break it down. And they're a really cool podcast. I think you should definitely check it out. I'm actually going to have them on the show. And we have a fight that we were going to do it for the Canelo versus Avni Yildirim, but there was really not going to be any discussion and discourse because we all knew how that fight was going to end, and it ended exactly how we thought. But yeah, check them out at Designated Report. Yeah. So just moving on. Leo Santa Cruz is not a mantle you should be proud of, Gervonta. And at this point, when you really look at it, besides Pedraza, which was at 130 pounds, who have you faced at 135 pounds that makes you a king at 135 pounds? What have you done in terms of resume to actually solidify yourself as a top fighter? I hate saying this because he's talented. He has highlight reel knockouts. He has potential. But he's the oldest out of all of these guys for the exception of Lomachenko. And he's being moved the most careful. Is Floyd really just trying to maximize his cash on Gervonta as an investment? That's what it seems like. It seems like they're protecting their asset. And for someone who made a career of taking risks and fighting at a certain point where you wanted to be pretty boy, where you fought everyone, you fought a bunch of champions, and then later on you fought good guys, but then in the later stages of career you decided to cherry pick and kind of pick and choose certain points to maximize revenue, but also, not take that big of a risk. But Gervonta Davis needs to fight somebody at this point, or I'm really just done talking about Gervonta being a top tier contender at 135 pounds. There's no problem with Gervonta fighting whoever he wants to fight. It is called prize fighting, right? He's a champion, or a certain version of a champion, not the top. He's just like a subsect of a champion below the top dog. Fighting Barrios, in my opinion, really doesn't change anything but your resume in terms of division champions, right? You want 3, you want 4, fine. Go for it. But when you're done beating Barrios, you're done knocking Barrios out, you come back with a title, you can't sit here and say that you're the A side. You can't sit here and say, I'm a pay-per-view fighter, I'm this. You fought one time on pay-per-view versus Leo Santa Cruz. You have to give Leo Santa Cruz credit for promoting that as well. He was the name, and if it wasn't Leo Santa Cruz, there was no way in hell that pay-per-view was going to do as well as it did. People were believing in the hype of Leo Santa Cruz. They tried making him fight at 130 pounds, trying to make it seem like he was a legitimate champion and a legitimate contender at that weight. But we know that Leo Santa Cruz is not 130 pounds. He is at most 126. And at 122, there's not many people that are going to fuck with Leo Santa Cruz because he's that good, right? But the money is in the heavier weights, and those divisions really don't get the love that they should, but it's just the way things are, right? And Floyd Mayweather, I think he needs to start answering hard questions when it comes to Gervonta. Who is Gervonta's endgame fight? Is it Teofimo to win all the belts? Is it to maximize revenue for himself / Gervonta? Because Gervonta never really speaks for himself. When was the last time I heard Gervonta say, hey, I want to fight so-and-so like all the other guys do? Sure, sometimes it comes across as cap or people just talking trash. Devin Haney's called out, oh, these people don't want to fight me. I want to fight so-and-so, but then it ends up nothing happens and nothing comes to fruition. Ryan Garcia has proclaimed, hey, he's fighting Pacquiao, he's fighting Gervonta, he's going after whoever it is at this point, right? Shit, he might even fight Canelo if they get into a falling out, right? Who knows at this point with Ryan Garcia calling everyone out. Excuse my rant, but at this point, these guys just talk so much and they don't fight. I get COVID's happening. I get all these things are going on. But at a certain level, you just got to fucking fight each other or stop talking about each other. I'm tired of anointing people that haven't fought anyone as a king when you haven't fought anyone. Ryan Garcia gets a little more of a pass than Gervonta at 135 because he fought Luke Campbell. People are trying to say, oh, Luke Campbell isn't as good as Leo Santa Cruz. I'm sorry. Luke Campbell at 135 is way more established than Leo Santa Cruz is at 130. And if you really think about it, Gervonta Davis at 135 pounds hasn't really even fought a top 5 guy yet or a top 10 guy at 135. So it's getting really, really tricky out here to kind of see more or less what's going on at 135. But there's Teofimo. I'm going to give Lomachenko up there, who was a clear front runner. Ryan Garcia gets a lot of love because of that Luke Campbell fight, so respect to him for stepping up. But Devin Haney and Gervonta, you guys got to step up the resume. I think Devin Haney is one of the best in the division, and I think if he fights Lomachenko, I'm going to go with Devin Haney in that fight. I think Devin Haney has enough IQ to neutralize angles. He's fast, he's long, and he's just too young for Lomachenko, in my opinion. I think it's a good fight, but these fights need to happen, and I'm really, really just tired of hearing, oh, Gervonta is fighting this person because maybe this can happen down the line. Bullshit. You guys got to either do the Canelo where I'm fighting this person right now, stay busy, and then I'm fighting so-and-so, or just shut up. All right, well, there goes my rant. Gervonta Davis, step the fuck up and fight somebody. Stop trying to set up a cherry pick fight with Barrios. What is Barrios going to bring? Does he hit harder than Gervonta? Is he bigger than Gervonta? Sure. Right? Do you think he's really going to beat Gervonta? No, he's not. So just quit it. Stop. Stop trying to hoodwink us. See through it already. Fight someone in your weight class. Be a contender in a certain weight class. If you want to move up and down, fight quality opponents, or just stop trying to charge me pay-per-view, because I'm going to watch it because I just love boxing. I'm going to watch it. But I'm getting tired of this shit already because Gervonta Davis, I love watching him, but if I'm going into a fight knowing, all right, he's going to knock this person out, do I really want to watch it? No, I don't. I mean, it's going to be, a 4-1 favorite, 5-1 favorite? Because Barrios can't fuck with this guy. I mean, Barrios is a marginal boxer at best. And sure, he's tough, he's solid, right? He's not like a bum or anything like that. But Gervonta Davis is special, right? I give him that. He has special potential. He should be campaigning at 135 or wherever he is, but he should be fighting top-level competition and not what he's fighting now. That's the episode for today. I'm sorry I'm a little frustrated and a little annoyed, but follow the podcast at Instagram on Instagram at Good Boxing Podcast. Feel free to follow on Spotify, and also if you're on Apple, feel free to leave a review and a rating. I'm going to post this up on YouTube if you want to watch the video, but I'm also going to post it up on IGTV. Clearly I'm a little ticked off, but yeah, that's just a passion. That's just the way I am. Enjoy. I have another episode coming up very shortly. Be well.